HeroScapers! Hello and welcome back. I am Joe Crazy. We're here looking at the first main event game. I am with Sam, aka Dysole. Sam, how are you?
Too bad. Nice quiet evening.
Awesome, excellent. It's always good for a break because I know you're a very incredibly busy person.
Fair enough.
You are quite the member of this community. You are pretty much everywhere, and everywhere as much as possible. I'm trying to think. There was a phrase I had in my head, and I just brain farted.
I mean, I have dipped my fingers into just about every pot on HeroScapers. Right now, the only things that I think I currently do is that I'm an admin for the site. I am a judge for Soldiers of Valhalla, and I'm one of the members of Online HeroScape. I'm primarily our spreadsheet girl.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that's incredible. Um, I know the game's gonna be just distracting. I'd love to get back to on some of those topics. So obviously, I have my Mara army of Nigoksan, the Grok Riders, 9 drones, and the Mara Warriors. And obviously, I'm bringing in the Groks and Nigoksa first. And you are bringing in something are new to me because I've never seen the Squatch Rider, Squatch. What is the last?
Quasatch, yeah. Quasatch Hunters.
Hunters, yes,
Raylan,
Hunters.
yeah, Raylan, 2 times Quasatch Hunters and 2 times Ashigar Harkabus was the army that I had.
Yeah, which I've never seen in person before. Our group does not have these, and that's awesome. I thought this army was really interesting because you got your range and you got your melee, and they seem to really work in tandem with each other. Not even in the sense of bonding or in powers. It's just they're just a good combo.
So usually my armies for these reverse the whip type events have usually been something kind of weird and garbagey off the wall.
Mm.
And then Raylan, and then something that helps cover the weakness of the off the wall thing.
Mm.
With the power level kind of dropping a little bit, I wasn't going to go too high level. I wanted to do something with Quasatch for a while, and Quasatch times 2 and Raylan was 280. It didn't leave me with a whole ton.
Sure.
Um, oh, I think I had Marku. I think I had Marku as well because so I had 140 points to deal with, and there was a lot of options that I kind of rummaged through. And Harkabus times 2 and Marku just felt like the right amount of power level.
Yeah.
Um, and it felt like it was something that was going to be tricky for other people to play, but I was still going to probably have a fine time with it, which is kind of the goal I was going for. But it wasn't going to like overload me with decisions because usually in the game there's really only like most turns there's only about 2 or 3 places we are going to be putting order markers.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
that's that's really great. I was looking at the Squatch Hunters card. Um, when picking your army, did because they have an ability with evergreen trees or jungle trees or jungle bushes, does that come into play at all when you look at the your team, your army, where it's like, okay, well, if I take this might be good because I might. I mean, this map
so
was not good for this, but it is possible for you to have jungle or evergreen trees to be on the map. Is that ever come
So
into
I
play?
was definitely I was waffling back and forth on some other options, and someone did point out that apart from this map, all other maps in the ScapeCon pool had trees.
Mm,
So it felt like I'm probably not going to get a better map pool than this, so might as well go for it.
sure.
And that was kind of the thought process there. This first map, it was a little, yeah. There. Oh no, sorry. Badman Rising also did not have trees, but
Okay.
um, both maps had shadow if they didn't have trees, which felt decent.
Sure.
And yeah, so for me on this particular map, I wasn't super thrilled to get this as an opening The how do I put this? Everything that I could see there was what you had in your army was definitely one of those that had some worrying pieces for me.
Sure.
Mostly the Mara warriors, because if you manage to take out enough of, say, my Harkabus, probably I'm in trouble against the Mara warriors. And if you kill Raylan, I'm probably also in trouble against the Mara warriors.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my thing when I saw that. Everything else, I was like, okay, I've got a decent shot against this,
Mm.
but I don't know how it'll go. Negaxa was a little worrisome because the biggest downside to the army that I brought is it doesn't really have a good can opener option. There's nothing in it that can really just like throw a lot of dice all at once. It kind of is it's more of an attrition type army, which
Sure.
is it's fine, but it's if there's something big that needs to be killed, it's gonna struggle. And there was at least two other matchups I know where that was relevant.
Mm.
So and at least I think I was on the other side of it for at least one of them, which was good for me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely needed a few things to go right. For example, in the game that I played against Cleon with Torcolna. So
Mm.
that was kind of my assessment going into this was that Negaxa and the Mara Warriors were the things I was most concerned about having to deal with.
Right.
Although I wasn't too concerned about like Neox's Mind Shackle is not great, but it's also like if it goes off, I'm probably losing that game anyway because it means you're either grabbing Raylan, which is going to be painful, or you're grabbing Marku, which at the end of the game
It's
that's going to be
whatever.
painful too.
Yeah.
Because that
Grabbing Marku
well
is
in the
like literally like always getting
in,
internal hatred, and at that point, if I
well
had mind shackled him
in
and
the
got
end
internal
game,
hatred, you would have gotten him back anyway. So it didn't.
yeah, well in the end game with Marku though, Marku can do a lot of work,
Oh,
and if I'm
absolutely.
bringing Marku out in the end game, we're probably in trouble anyway. One of the other reasons why I liked having Marku was it gave me a lot of Wannock insurance, regardless of what happened. And that was actually the
Yeah.
big reason why I think I went with this because the everything else I didn't really know I didn't really have any good places to put Wannock wounds,
Mm-hmm.
but with Marku in the army, then I did.
Yeah.
So that was yeah, my opening strategy was probably just I mean, I was planning on basically just throw out some Quasatch and then probably bring in the Harkabus to shoot at things once there was a nice little setup there. Although this map wasn't exactly great for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that uh, the how are you pronouncing that? Satrap. You're essentially your fourth mass. Like what?
Oh, Ashigaru?
Yeah, Ashigaru. Yeah, that's it.
Ashigaru Harkabus. Yeah.
Harkabus. Okay,
Har-
okay.
Harkabus is the type of gun, and it's the
Mm.
type of gun that they have.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Well, I definitely was able to get a lot of the Maro drones in, which I'm very surprised by, uh, and being able to get them with some glyph control on the right. So I got that lucky 20 cider, which is great. I don't remember it paying off for me.
Yeah,
It could have been.
I don't remember a whole ton of the details of this game. I can probably remember more as the game goes on.
Sure. I do remember us hanging around in the top left corner for the longest time, and that's probably because of
There's
Negok.
Well, there's probably a reason why I chose that place to kind of because I have the range advantage. Unless you lead with Mara Warriors,
Mm.
I kind of get to decide where the battle is happening, and I feel like that was where I wanted to.
Mm.
I might have to remember exactly why I chose that. Do you remember what the glyphs were?
Well, it's Wannick and the Lucky 20 cider. So
Got
Loden.
it. Glanik and Loden. Yeah. Okay. So in both cases, the glyphs didn't really worry me and didn't really help me.
No.
I didn't want Wannock to go uncontested. I was fine with you getting Loden. There wasn't a whole lot there. I probably should have used a different. I liked that D20, but it was just really hard to see. Sometimes I probably should have used a different one.
Mm-hmm.
For what it's worth, it would have actually not been a terrible idea to lead Mara Warriors here.
Yeah, I I learned a lot through ScapeCon, and I never really knew the power of the Mara Warriors. I don't use them as often, and when I did use them, they always just died really early. And so, like, my experience with them was like, why are they so good? Like, I don't get it. Like, how are people afraid of this? And I think you really just got to lead with them. You got to try to get as many early
Not
picks as
necessarily.
possible.
It depends on the matchup. This is a matchup where it works well because I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of setup. And yeah, so let's see here. And so I basically start with Quasatch because yeah, I would have put Nigaxa a little farther up in my start zone just because he's only got 5 moves, so you want
Yeah, I
him to
think
kind of get into
my idea was I just wanted to keep them as close as possible because I know in my experience with any type of bonding unit is that I find that my hero is 20 spaces ahead of all of the bonding units in the back. So I kind of play leapfrog with that kind of combo.
gotcha. Have range on the Wana glyph with Raylan.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not able to easily, like, your Mara warriors that are all the way over here, it's gonna be really hard for them to shoot down at her.
Yeah.
And your drones and your Brox, it's gonna be very difficult for you. You can only get one real attack on her.
Mm-hmm.
That was the entire purpose of what I did. I thought about setting up on the shadow space, but that just gives you attacks down, and that was not gonna be good. I felt like if I needed to move Raylan again, it would be fine. How many do you get to move here? Okay, it looks like you get to move at least 6, which, yeah, you getting some early heavy drone rolls was less than ideal for me.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, because I get a lot of them up. I had at least 6 over by Loden, I think at least by round 2. So I was able
Yeah.
to get some.
Loden wasn't, yeah. I mean, Loden wasn't super important in my mind, although I think with Nigaxa, it does bump your ability up to 10%. That's actually the biggest one of the bunch,
Yeah.
if you can get Nigaxa down.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
wanted to
okay.
build your defense, essentially
Yep.
stop my
I
melee
grabbed
units from coming
Wanek.
in.
I grabbed Wanek, and then, yeah, I put a Quasatch there because that Quasatch then would be sitting there with, well, yeah, because that Quasatch is now in Raylan's Aura and Shadow, which I think was 7 dice.
Hmm.
I think I think their base defense is 4.
Yeah, I have them pulled up. Let's see.
So while you can attack
Base
down on
attack.
that Quasatch there,
Base attack 3.
their base defense.
Oh, base defense 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah 4.
So basically, by putting that Quasatch there, I've made it very difficult for you to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And then I remember you asking me about initiative because, yeah, Loden is for any D20 that you roll.
Yeah, that was incredible. I had never known that. That was really interesting.
What's also fun is that if you have Loden and Marku, you do not have to roll if it would jump you up to Eternal Hatred.
Interesting. Huh. So it's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
by
So it looks like
choice that you use the Loden? It's not
you
like
may add 1.
interesting.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember where you put your Planet Code. You used it to kill a drone. I was perfectly happy with that. I think honestly it might have been a bad idea to put it on the Mara Warriors. I'm not 100% sure on that. Or Nigaxa, like, both seem useful, but the truth is that your army also doesn't have great places to put Wanek wounds.
Yeah,
Um,
no. No.
at this point, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have 1 order marker on Quasatch and then 2 on the Harks,
Hmm.
just knowing how I'm setting up. And then you didn't move the Grox. I don't know if that was the right call because
Yeah, I don't think
by
so
doing
either.
so,
I
by
definitely was
doing
trying to
so,
see if
you
I can bait you with attacking me because they need to be adjacent to Nigok for them to do their thing. So I think I was trying to play the patience game.
well, the thing is, you're actually better served by disrupting my setup
Hmm.
than you are by trying to bait me into something.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm making it very hard for you to come back and attack Raylan, which is the key thing that I'm concerned about at the
Of
moment.
course, yeah. Your game isn't just to defeat and kill all of me, but is literally the objective to defend Raylan. That is literally the only
Yeah.
objective you have, and with doing so, can get rid of a lot of me.
So yeah, so I think I don't remember if I steal it. I don't think I have. I don't think I actually got to steal a order marker from you, but I do think I remember weakening you a bit.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to make sure that the rocks were pretty well cleared out, but I couldn't quite take your last order marker from you. Yeah, I think I wait then fired here because just because, yeah, I had enough figures in position. There was no reason for me not to.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that your next order marker was probably going to be on drones.
Right.
Yeah, this is where things start really turning around for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think your unfamiliarity with the figures really worked in my favor.
Sure. And you know what, too? This is obviously another thing that I learned from ScapeCon is I did want to take armies that I already knew, a majority. So when I was playing them, I didn't have to worry about what am I doing opposed to what you're doing. Um, Even though I had the whole camera rig, and so I was worried about that as much too, and making sure I had to,
Yeah, no, it
I
makes
could see
sense.
everything. But also, what I learned is that I really need to focus on what is my opponent and where they're putting the order markers, because even in the games I do today, I always seem to forget. I always seem to forget to look at my opponent's
Oh,
order markers
yeah.
and go, what do they have on? How do I eliminate them before that order marker gets put down?
What do I think that, what you also want to think like, where is that figure going? What is that figure going to do? Okay, so now I have you down to 3 drones, which means that you basically don't even need to roll.
Yeah,
Did you have your next order marker on? Did you have yours? I feel like you had an order marker on Mara Warriors at one
probably.
point. But no, you had it on drones.
Drones. Okay.
But as you notice, they're all in terrible positions.
Oh yeah, I didn't have time to move them up. You killed all the ones in good positions. So I had to
Yeah,
use
that
all
was
my movement to stretch them out.
yeah, winning that last initiative was really helpful for me because
Sure.
it did allow me to kind of take control of the board again.
Mm.
Now, as you notice, that one there is currently in Raylan's Aura, so it's got 3 defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you killed it.
there you there you go.
This is me being sneaky and being like, I want those warriors dead.
Yeah. No, I don't remember because if they ever did. I want to say if this is order marker 3.
I guess it's order marker 3.
Because I
I
don't
think what
remember them moving any further than where they are.
I think what happens is I think your 3rd order marker is on the Mara Warriors. And then so I move that one there. I'm risking a disengage. I'm sorry, I'm risking a lava field death, but at this point, I'm in a good spot, and I really kind of need some of these other figures dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, I think I did that entirely well, not entirely, but partially to, let's see. I did it. I know why I think I did it. I did it so that way if I would have, yeah, I think I did it so I'd have 2 to go kill Mara Warriors if I won initiative.
Right.
So managed to kill that. Yeah, I don't know why I chose that one. I think I had a better chance of getting to height or something. I don't know.
Oh, probably because if I would have water cloned, I would have to move them anyway. I don't know. I feel like I'm making that
Yeah.
up. Oh,
Yeah, you had it on drones. Yeah, you engage here, so that way,
Is all I need. Do I get it?
it's blockable. I forget if,
Oh!
yeah, it's enough.
Yeah.
And I lose another one to lava, which is not great. I've kind of wanted to. I feel like you put one order marker on the Mara Warriors,
Oh
and
yeah, I have
then
to. I have to start doing that.
I feel like you put one on them, but then you kind of just leave them alone for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't have too much experience with the Warriors, and every time I have take them, they just never perform the best, and that's why I've always questioned of like, are they really as powerful as everyone says they are? And that's why I really wanted to make sure I took them so that when reverse the whip happened, I could watch somebody use them properly to learn.
Enough.
But I will say I had a game after ScapeCon. I played with my buddy Glenn, and I used them. And I was playing against an army of Solborgs, and he was taking the um, oh my god, Zedian infantry with
Gotcha.
Death Commander and Mark II, and and I will say they got triple their points back. I was
Yeah.
able to definitely learn a lot from that experience, and realize their true potential. So I can definitely see. You get them on height, and they're tagging down with three, and they can keep coming back, and it's like that's ideal. I mean, you get three is like the ideal default attack and or defense that you will ever need for any unit.
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't sure here if the order markers were on drones or not, but I feel like there was a decent chance. That was why I kept attacking him.
Yeah,
Okay, so that one, as soon
which
as
was
that
kind of
one,
good because you took my bait because I didn't have any of them on there.
and oh yeah, I shot one more at the Grok. Yeah, because I wanted that one to go away and not sit on Wannick anymore. But you didn't, and then you hopped down there, which I didn't love, but
Just
I
one
could
space
work with
away.
it.
One space away, Sam. So close to Raylan.
Yeah, no, it's fair, and like, but you didn't have any order markers left on Nigoxa, if I remember right. So
Probably not, no.
I was quite happy to have you putting those order markers on Nigoxa because that was one attack a turn,
Yeah.
and it was I was able to quite outmatch that output because right now you're attacking up at me and I got 7 defense. So
Yeah, I'm actually really mad at myself that Warriors I'm sorry, that drone is on Shadow and not on Loden right now, because knowing that I don't would ever put any more order markers on them, I'm like, that is such a waste. You would have to force yourself to go over there to get that guy, and he could be
yeah,
putting in work for an Egok.
yeah, no, yeah, giving yourself a 10% chance to shackle Raylan because if you shackle Raylan, you're back in this game.
Yeah,
As it is right now, you may have enough, but it's really questionable.
it's tough. Yeah, I'd have to literally rush her over to go help defend with the Warriors for that chance to even exist.
I mean, I then have to kill Raylan again, so
Mm.
But if that means things I can't, I'm not attacking the warriors in the process. But eh, it's 6 of 1. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Three.
I feel like I feel like I killed one of them, unless you had a great block. Yeah. Okay. Now that they're down at 2, I feel a lot better about things. Not great, but I don't feel comfortable at the Mario Warriors until they are completely gone.
Yeah.
And right, I definitely want to keep attacking. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Nigok?
I want to attack the Grok for sure.
Oh, the Grog, yeah. Even though you just keep putting those wounds on. Oh wait, is there? Do you have? Oh, do you? Now with the die, because I know I had somebody recently tell me that they count down with the die.
I
Were
count
you
down.
doing that? Okay, so okay,
I
yeah. I
count
only
down.
you only had one wound on them then. Okay.
Yeah, no, you got a Wannick wound on Marku last round. That's where I would have put it. And yeah. Okay, yeah. Now you come out to attack me. Did I win initiative or did you? I think you won
I think I won
initiative.
yeah.
In which case, yeah, I have a
I
single
didn't realize
squad
how
of
tight of a game
Harks
this is
left.
actually becoming because wow, you had two Squatch and one squad of the Ashigaru left.
Yes, so that is the thing where I'm like, I need to kill these things now because if I don't kill them, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, if only I knew how to work the warriors. Because I mean, even though there's only two left, and even if I was able to stall you enough with Nigok to bring them fully back, um, that would be really scary for you.
Yeah, because I don't. I need. I'm gonna need everything I can to make sure that. So yeah, I'm definitely hoping that I can kill one of these Mara warriors here. But I'm also setting myself up so that way if I manage to pull it off, but I've also set myself up so that way I have shots down on both the Grok Rider and Nagaxa
Yeah,
because
you gotta have your
I want
your
to kill the
target
Grok
rich
Rider
environment.
first. Yeah. And it looks like I didn't kill one of the Maras, which frustrating, but yeah,
Oh, you
okay.
finally got the crack.
Yeah, no,
Oh
it took me
boy.
way too long to kill the Groks with Harks. I should have killed them a lot faster. Yeah. And I'm attacking 3v7s, which isn't going to do a whole ton, but you know.
Yeah, that's a tough spot. I don't think he leaves that spot, to be honest. I don't remember him getting that squatch. Now I'm looking at this. I don't think he leaves that spot. Oh
No, I
wait.
think I remember waiting and firing him to death.
It's
Or you move one spot over and try and shackle Raylan
yeah,
or
I think I
something.
do get a roll in.
Yeah, so now that I see you have two order markers on Mara Warriors, I'm absolutely trying to hope that I win this and are able to take them out before. Okay, so your order marker one was on Negaxa. That was not the right call because
No, it was not the right call.
I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to take a leaving engagement. I probably like if I hadn't said that, I mean you don't probably I mean I put myself at a 5% risk here, but I don't like telling people like things without I don't know. I want to make sure that the person I'm playing against is using all of their abilities.
Sure.
Not everyone is like that, but okay, yeah. So Nagaxa did nothing. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna make sure that these things are dead. Yeah. As you can see,
Oh
I am
man.
basically devoted. I'm throwing all my Hark resources at killing these
Literally
things.
the entire firing squad. Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah, you
And
got
at
him.
that point, I breathed a sigh of relief because at that point, I basically knew that unless the dice went very badly for me, I
Yeah.
would be able to pull this off.
Sure.
Yeah, now that I've got I've also chipped away at Negaxa down to 1 life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I was
yeah, that
always
first
afraid that if anyone watched any of the videos on the channel before and watched me play, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can easily beat him at ScapeCon."
I it's one of those things where honestly, I have learned enough games that you can't ever take things for granted. Yeah.
Sure.
So here I set myself up so that way I can yeah.
No, this is a very very easy end to
Yeah, so
see.
one of the things that was key about this was you also moved off Shadow, which helped me a ton for getting in those last couple of wounds. But yeah, I didn't have any way to um get that drone, but yeah, so oh, I did have a third order marker on Quasatch. I don't know if that was the right
Four
call looking at
skulls.
this.
Oh, he's gonna get smashed in.
Actually, no,
And
it
he
was the right call
does.
because there's no I
Awesome game. That was
yeah.
beautiful. Loved it. Oh,
So
I've never seen that. That's so great.
so yeah, that was kind of the big
Wow.
thing was there at the end.
Well done.
I kind of needed to throw all of my resources at the Mara Warriors because that was about the only way that I lose.
True. Yeah.
And yeah, you threw a lot of order markers on Nigaxa in the middle game when you probably shouldn't have been. I think that was probably the biggest mistake that I saw as far as everything was concerned.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
using him as a distraction to keep you at bay over there, um, and then maybe move up with the Mara Warriors, just so they
Honestly,
weren't.
what you needed to do with Nigaxa was you needed to put him in a spot that was going to be just a pain for me to get. Like if you throw him on where the Hark is sitting on the shadow right next to the glacier, you put
Right. Okay.
Nigaxa there, and it's just a pain for me to do things
Right, because you
because
wouldn't
he
want to put
basically
them on the extra height because of the
I
lava.
can't and just not just that, you've also made it so I can't really get through that area without risking disengagements.
Mm. Kind of like what you did with the squatches. You just use them as blockades so that I can't physically, no matter which way, I can move a drone through that defense to get the Raylan.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to make like that's one of the key things about setting up how about your setup is you want to make sure that you are making life as annoying for your opponent to move through it as possible.
Mm.
So I think the key thing was that those order markers that you put on Negaxa
Mm.
um, probably should have been on like there was like I think 3 or 4 order markers on Negaxa. I think you just needed one to put him in an annoying spot, and then the remaining 3 if they all go on Mara Warriors, you're going to be throwing a lot of dice at me, and you're
Mm-hmm.
probably going to kill some stuff unless I manage to uh, get lucky or something like that. Especially if you still have, especially for the drone threat. I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I might play it differently if I know the Mara Warriors are coming. I was definitely trying to catch them while they were sleeping.
Sure.
So
Yeah, they had a
yeah,
solid
no.
nap.
But I definitely wanted to make sure that the most of the game took place around Wannock
Right.
because any wounds that I put on your army are painful.
Hmm.
Whereas because I have Marku, any wounds that you put on my army, I can kind of eat about 3 or 4 of them and still feel fine.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I mean, and plus with Marku, I mean, even if you do eventually move him in and eat, and you could eat people up and gain that health back easily. So that's always the best choice because you always see
Yeah.
those fillers of Asamu, and like sure if you have the 10 points, I think Asamu is the better choice. But with 20 points left over, I can't imagine anyone else better than Marku.
Marku is just very so there are games where Marku is going to make your life miserable. There was a game at ScapeCon that I played with Chris Perkins where Marku betrayed him in back-to-back turns and I ended up winning the game because of that. But
Interesting.
in most scenarios, Marku can just run the table with things. He was
Mm.
actually instrumental in me being able to finish off Torkolna.
Wow.
So,
Well, Sam, that was a fun and very wonderful learning experience for me. Thank you for
Yeah.
destroying me. I learned a lot. It was an absolute pleasure. I know we didn't get to talk too much about all of the HeroScape stuff that you do in this community, but at least people know a little bit more about you, and I hope you'll be back on soon to talk about them, because I am truly curious to know more about HeroScape Online, how the tournaments are ran, how the Soldiers of Valhalla judges things, or how they come about, and how you even got to join them in the first place. That to me is very fascinating. And so, and of course, the modding that
I
you
mean,
do for the community.
I think Soldiers of Valhalla is the only one that I like officially applied for. The other ones kind of people came to me and they were like, "We think you might be good at this, so here you go. If you are interested in doing this, we'd like you to help out." That's kind of the thing.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Well, sometimes it is very nice to be needed, to feel needed. So it is always a pleasure to know that you fill those spots. And I know a lot of people come to you for help for anything with the website or even on the Discord. So it is always a pleasure to see your name pop up and to see how you help out these newcomers into the community. And it's a nice welcome for them. So from me and everyone else, I appreciate that. It's a huge thing.
yeah, I'm glad I can help this community in whatever ways I can. I've been a part of it for a while and it's helped me a lot, and I like to help it as best I can.
That's awesome. So thank you again, Sam, aka Dysole on the HeroScaper forums. I don't think you have another name out there. I'm pretty sure that's the one name you have for everything. um,
It's very nice and handy because it's so rare that I have to um someone else has it, and on the occasions they do, adding a number to the end of it is available. So,
sure. Yeah. If you guys aren't aware, she also streams on Twitch, plays HeroScape Online. I go check her out. The link for that will be in the description below. Those matches are also so interesting to watch. So please go check her out on Twitch. I don't think there's a particular schedule that you have. I think you just kind of go live whenever the tournaments are going on, correct?
my schedule is I have a game and this is when it's getting played and I'm streaming it. That is the
Yeah.
schedule. I've thought about streaming non-HeroScape things, but the problem is that I haven't looked into getting it set up, and
Sure.
that's really the answer, is that I haven't looked into it, and so I don't really know how difficult it would be for me to set it up.
Well, if you have any questions, please let me know because I could always help with that as well. So, um,
Cool, cool, cool.
so, with that said, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And for you viewers at home, please leave a like and comment and share the video with all of your HeroScaper pals. And don't forget, I am not crazy. I'm Joker.